Darya Zheleznyakova takes on Melissa Mullins this Saturday at UFC Fight Night Baku, Azerbaijan. And this is going to be a good fight. It's actually a rematch. These two faced off back in November of 2022, with Melissa Mullins getting a ground and pound finish with 1 second left in the first round. So curious to see who's made more improvements and how this one plays out again. But Darya Zheleznyakova, she's 29, 5'9", with a 68-inch reach, and she's 9-2 in her MMA career. She's a pretty technical striker, decent boxing with straight punches, 5 KOs, split between ground and pound wins, and KO TKOs on the feet. Not the best grappling though. She has a 50% takedown defense. She was taken down pretty easily by Montserrat Hindon in round 1, and again at the end of round 1 with a trip, and just didn't really look like she had an answer in that fight. She was just kind of holding onto underhooks for dear life. Hindon was able to close the distance and get into the clinch very well, and I don't think Hindon's the most high level MMA athlete out there. And then she was taken down by Ailin Perez in round 1 twice in a row, put straight into mount, and just looked lost, and eventually got arm triangle choke. So both losses are on the ground due to ground and pound and submission. And then I look at her career. 9-2, pretty good career. But like I always say, some of these fighters on the European scene just have kind of padded records. She lost to Melissa Mullins for her first career loss. And then she fought Marie Loiseau, got that fight done in the first round by knockout. But Marie Loiseau was like 5-3 at the time and 42 years old. Gets the call up to the UFC, barely beats Montserrat Hindon. It was a very close fight. She had a lot of damage on her face as well. Struggled in the grappling. And then I lost to Ailin Perez. So I look at her career. She beat a 7-5, 3-0, 4-3. 10-5. She did beat somebody who's 9-0, but 1-0. So I just think she's kind of unproven. And whenever I feel like she takes a step up in competition to somebody with a little bit of talent, and Mullins and Ailin Perez, she's losing and she's getting finished. And Melissa Mullins, she's 33 years old, 5'7", with a 68-inch reach, so she'll be 2 inches shorter, but have the same reach. And she's 7-1 with her only loss coming to Nora Cornoli back in April of 2024. But she's very aggressive, has really good improved striking, but she's primarily looking to get the fight to the ground most of the time. Has a good jab, good double jab right hand combo, keeps her hands high, very defensively sound on the feet for the most part. She did get dropped in her fight with what was her name, Irina Alexeyeva, who was able to recover very quickly in that one. She's just she's very tough. And she can take damage on the feet, but dish it as well. She's got really good takedowns and very heavy on top. Works very well into mount and to the back, and can kind of transition between those two. She got a takedown over Claudia Segula, who's also fighting on this card, and got straight into mount to land big strikes in round 1. Did it immediately in round 2. Kind of got control of her wrist and pounded her out as she was face down. She was taken down by Alexeyeva along the cage, but was able to immediately win kind of the scramble, get her back, and land really good elbows to close the round. So she just mixes her strikes into her takedowns. She uses her striking very well, coming forward, throwing combinations to disguise her takedowns, and we saw that in her fight with Alexeyeva, where you could tell she was just levels above her on the ground. Like I said, she took a massive right hand from Alexeyeva and was dropped badly in round 1, but she was able to weather the storm, get back to her feet, still almost win the round. Didn't really win the round because she got dropped, but was still able to be very effective in that round. So she just she's very tough. She's a dog. She doesn't stop fighting, and she has a great gas tank. So I'm going to go with Melissa Mullins in this one. I just think Zheleznyakova, the ground game is just too much of a gap when you're fighting somebody like Melissa Mullins, who's shown to be able to exploit the ground deficiencies in a lot of her opponents. In their first fight, Zheleznyakova was having a lot of success on the feet. She was getting off on the feet against Mullins, landing really good strikes, but once Mullins got the takedown, Darya again was just lost, gave up her back, and was just pounded out with a second left in the round. In a 3-round fight, I trust Melissa Mullins to be able to get her takedowns, do a lot of damage, control position, maybe get the finish. She's tough, and she's proven she can fight through adversity in previous fights to get the win. So I think even if Zheleznyakova does find success on the feet, I think Mullins, just with her tenacity and her relentless pressure, she'll be able to push forward and still do a lot of damage and have a lot of success. I think she's very improved since their last fight, just in terms of the stand-up. She's looked really good in her last few fights against, Irina Alexeyeva, Claudia Segula. She's looked good on the feet, and I think she's more well-rounded than Zheleznyakova. I don't think she has any major gaps now, whereas, Zheleznyakova, she's got decent stand-up, but she gets to the ground and she doesn't know what she's doing. So I'm going to go with Melissa Mullins. I just think she's a dog. I think she'll get respect on the feet and then start to work in her takedowns and working her grappling game to get the win. Next.